everyone. So it is strap week and Happy New Year. So we have got an awesome practice today. We're gonna have a yoga strap. You can also use a resistance band or like if you have a Rogue band or a therapy band, you can use one of those as well. And let me know if you need some resources as far as where to get these. You're definitely you're going to want a strap this week for this practice because we are basically using the strap for pretty much everything. So get ready. We have got, like I mentioned, an amazing practice. I'm super excited to share this one. Hope that everyone had a wonderful holiday week and had a wonderful time reviewing our first 4 practices and lessons, and get ready for another amazing week.
All right, starting at the top third of your mat, you're going to grab your strap. We're going to create resistance with that yoga strap and take that breath up. Tadasana lift, couple shoulder rolls. Just make sure we've got a nice distance. If you need to work your hands in or out on that yoga strap, you can. So inhale, lift, and then exhale, you're going to sit those hips back into Utkatasana, chair pose. And then exhale again, cactus arms. Inhale, lift. Good. Pulsing that strap, drawing the elbows down to the rib cage. And then inhale, stand. And then exhale, release the strap. So I'm going to give you a front on view now. So inhale, take that breath up, Tadasana lift. Again, oppositional work with those hands on that strap. Exhale, sit those hips back into chair pose. And then pulsing with that strap, we're creating that expansion through the chest. Do that 2 times and then we stand again. And then exhale, go ahead and release that band. So I'm going to come back to side view. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit the hips back, chair pose. Remember to shift that weight into those hips. And then think about doing a lat pull here with that band, hugging elbows to rib cage. Stand and release. And then exhale. Go ahead and bring those hands down to the sides of the body. Inhale again. Good. So remember, we're really creating that middle line or midline work with the core here. Continue to work through these 2 pulses into cactus arms. Find your Tadasana lift. And then exhale, release the strap. So our focus here is to really work on that chest opening. Once again, sit into that chair pose. Shift your weight. Make sure those knees aren't pushing past your toes. And continue to squeeze that midline. Think working through that block all the way through. Add those cactus arms, 2 pulses right there. And then exhale, go ahead and release that strap. Give yourselves a couple shoulder rolls. Start to notice expansion, changes, warmth in the upper body, specifically through the chest and the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to go through IT band side body stretches. So oppositional work from the floor, hugging midline work. You're going to tip to the left. So make sure that you're hugging from the floor, hugging in with that midline work, and then we're expanding out. Okay, so that we get that side body stretch and IT band stretch. Good. You want to push out through those sit bones, or those hip bones, excuse me, so that we get that extension. And notice I'm trying to get that strap to actually come vertical, okay, or perpendicular to the floor. Good. Continue to work the shoulders down and away from those ears. Once again, tipping to that first side. Good. And remember, you're going to push oppositionally from your outside foot, right? So the opposite side of your strap here. Really concentrate on those deep Ujjayi breaths, those yoga breaths. That's really going to help you find that deeper stretch and that deeper expansion through the hip. Okay, sending that stretch and that length all the way down the outside of that hip and thigh. Good. Go ahead and release that strap. Again, give yourself a couple shoulder rolls. We're going to do that a lot. Make sure that we have an opportunity to release the upper body before we go into our next move. So this next pose we're going to do is called a pull through. So again, oppositional work. Notice I start to create resistance and tension on the strap. Inhale, I lift to that Tadasana lift, and then exhale, I'm going to pull that strap into my thighs. Inhale, lift, working that band or that strap as far back as we can, as mobility allows, and then pulling it into the thighs. So you're going to be able to see it better here. Foundational work, inhale, lift. Notice the arms are coming behind the ears, and then exhale, I'm pulling that strap into my thighs and letting my chest come forward. Doing again, inhale, lift, and exhale, create more resistance on that band, almost like you're looking over, right, the edge of a ship or a cliff. Drop the shoulders, working those shoulder blades down the spine, and now we move into figure eights. So we're going to get the counter pose and the chest opener here, right? So you're just making a nice big circle, okay, with that body, rounding and then expanding and opening through the chest. So it's really key here, you guys, think about your foundational work through the feet, through the shins, the calves, the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes, the core. Good. You're going to do 6 times on each side. So use the breath. Inhale. You're going to round forward on that inhale, right? Exhale, expand and open through the chest. That's the emphasis. So we want to get that exhale on that chest opener. Good. Think about pushing the strap away from your body so we get that deeper rounding, right? And that lax in the string from chin to tailbone. And then after you complete those 6 times, we're going to switch directions, okay, so we get that other side. So primary emphasis here is rounding and opening through the back, the chest. Secondary emphasis is we're going to get a side body opener as we push more foundationally from the feet and then hug up and expand out through the spine and the side bodies. Good. Taking another breath. Inhale, remember to round forward, and then exhale, find that expansion through the chest. Again, that's the primary emphasis here. Good. Sitting your weight back into your heels as you round, and then lifting through the crown of the head as we find that chest opener. Take a couple shoulder rolls here. Deep expanding breaths. Notice the changes that are taking place. So we're going to come into a heart opener with the strap. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your yoga band, or excuse me, yoga strap, and you are going to loop it through, right? So that it's connected, so that it's now just a loop, a giant loop. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring this strap around like you're putting on a sweater, okay, or like a shrug. So it's going to come around, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the bottom of the strap, and it's going to come right underneath the shoulder blades. So it almost really emphasizes that shelf concept, okay? And then we work the top of the band or strap down, and then we're going to clasp with both hands. So you're going to notice where emphasis here is expansion through the shoulders. So foundational work, I'm hugging in and up. Okay, as I start to get into position, right? Notice I'm changing that foot positioning. I'm pushing my foundational work into the floor. And then oppositionally, I'm going to reach that band, and I'm going to try to stretch that band so that I get that expansion between my shoulders. I'm also pushing the back of my head, okay, into an imaginary wall. So you're going to see it here from the side view even more. So shoulders up, retract back, and slide those shoulder blades down into place. Notice I'm pushing my head back into place so I keep that length. And then I'm slowly expanding with my breath, working the backs of my shoulders right closer towards my spine. Really concentrate on your breath here. Okay, everybody's breath's going to be different. So here's a front view. Notice just little shifts, little changes, little ahas, little progressions as those shoulders and chest expand. Remember, you're oppositionally working. Crown of the head towards the ceiling, band towards the floor, thighs hugging in, chest and core lifting up and expanding out. When you're ready, you're going to go ahead and release that strap, that band, and we're coming into cow and cat, standing cow and cat. So you're going to push those hands into those thighs, let that chest open, and then exhale. Connect hands to thighs, tuck and round, create lax between that string, between the chin and the tailbone. Inhale, shift that weight forward, weight in the heels, reach the toes forward, and then exhale, tuck and round. This is a really great standing release, an option for cow and cat when maybe you're at work. Okay, this is a great place to open through that chest, okay, to get some movement in the body when maybe we can't come into a full practice. This is a great option. So remember that we're, again, continue to work that foundational work, okay? Go ahead and bring those arms up, rolling through those shoulders, and release. Okay, so we're going to come into half salutes with some runner's variations. So you want to bring the strap, we're expanding it out now, balls of the feet press into the mat. Inhale, take that breath up. Good, exhale, we're going to swan dive, find that forward fold. So now we're going to grab our strap. Inhale, find your half back or half salute, right? Oppositional work from the crown of the head to the tailbone, and then exhale, chest to thighs, fold. Now notice again, I'm using the resistance of that strap, okay, to help fold my body. Inhale, find your half salute. Once again, release the strap and then step that left foot out, find your runner's stretch. So we're going to stay here for several breaths. So use those inhales and those exhales, shifting that weight towards the right shin, pushing oppositionally towards your left heel. Inhale, step forward, exhale, fold. And then once again, here we go, repeat. Inhale, find your half back or half salute, exhale, fold. Remember, opposition, foundation, all edges of those feet are pushing against our mat to create that length through the backs of the legs and the hips. Step your right foot back, find your runner's stretch. So once again, take several breaths here, working that space, right, between your front foot and your back foot. Keep that chest lifting as we're working shoulder blades onto the spine. Inhale, step forward, find that band again or that strap, exhale, fold. And then once again, inhale, find your flat back or half salute. Exhale, fold. Notice how I'm starting to shift. I'm trying to get my hip bones slightly further forward. Inhale, find that flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back. Once again, find that runner stretch. And now we're adding high crescent lunge. So inhale on this next breath here. Take those arms up. Good. Let that chest open. See that expansion, that enthusiasm between those fingertips. Let the chest open. Good. And exhale, release. Stepping forward, find that strap once again and fold. Good. Inhale, find your flat back. Okay, so start to work that chest open even a little bit more as we create opposition from the top of our head to our hamstrings or to our tailbone. Inhale, find that flat back. Exhale, step your right foot back. Find your runner stretch. So notice I'm giving, again, that little bit of that seesaw. Inhale, forward and back so we create that space. When we're ready, take that breath up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, deepen into that space so that we get the chest, the hips, okay, as well as the strength in our lower half. Stepping forward, find your fold. Use that resistance that that strap creates. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Inhale, find your flat back or half salute. Exhale, fold. Continue to push oppositionally from those heels. Inhale, find your flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back. Once again, find your runner stretch. So now we're going to progress. Once again, inhale, windmill up, high crescent lunge. And now we're exhaling. There's that cactus arm that we practiced in the beginning. Elbows hug towards the rib cage, expand through the lats, and then back to runner's lunge. Step forward with that foot. Exhale, find your fold. Inhale, half salute. And exhale, fold. Good. We're working those hamstrings that support that low back and pelvis region. Inhale, find your flat back. And exhale, step your right foot back, runner stretch. Windmill those arms up. Find once again your high crescent lunge. Notice that depression as we drop into those legs. Find your cactus arms, expanding out through those fingertips. Chest opens and then windmill forward. Stepping your back foot forward, find your fold, and exhale, release. Inhale, half spine or flat back. Exhale, fold. and release that strap. Take that breath now all the way up. Tadasana, lift, get some extension through the fronts of those hips, and exhale to heart center. Okay, we're moving on to hand to toe pose. So you're coming back to creating a loop with that strap, okay? So this makes sure we have plenty of resistance and oppositional work. So once again, ball of the foot comes to the strap now. Okay, we've got a nice big round, and we're coming and we're gonna gently pull the right knee into the chest. I want you to feel that foundational work and your stabilization before we move on. Once you feel that, you're gonna kickstand that right foot out, keeping that resistance and that tension between the foot, the arms, and the strap, okay? So notice that my left leg is not hyperextended, okay? So you super bendy people, make sure that we watch that hyperextension of that left knee joint. When we feel ready, again, we can add extension of an arm. Otherwise, we can stay with both hands at the strap. Okay, the key is we want to try to create a square, right? Or a 90-degree angle from our extended leg to our standing leg. I'm working my chest and my back muscles as I pull the shoulder blades onto the spine. And then slowly we're going to cross that foot over and we find our figure four or standing pigeon variations. So we can stay here, right, in more of a chair pose, or we can work down to a forward fold. So remember, again here, we've done this pose several times, so go into a variation that works best for you. Okay, if we're tighter this week, then maybe we're not going to come as deep into a fold, or transitioning into maybe those lotus options where we drop into the floor even more, or the mat even more. So working that breath, remember here we're pushing the right tricep into the top of the right knee and right shin bone to really work that right glute open, okay? The gluteus muscles, the piriformis muscles. And then again, play deepening into a chair pose more. Use this as an opportunity, okay, to really release those hips. Go ahead and come out of this. Give yourselves a couple shoulder rolls. And now we're going to transition to hand to toe pose on our opposite side. So we're going to shift that weight now to our standing leg on the right side. Follow the foot to the left strap. So once again, sides are going to slightly be different. So as we pull the knee into the chest, get flexion of that foot as we pull those toes towards the shins. And then as we feel ready, we extend that foot out. Okay, so you're pushing the bottom of that left foot into an imaginary wall. I'm working my chest open as I'm trying to reach forward and oppose with my back muscles. Expand out with that right arm if and when we're ready. Okay, and continue to work our core, our stabilization, and our hamstrings on that left leg here. Good. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Start to work those toes of that left foot higher towards the ceiling. Okay, really getting some nice strength and stabilization work here. When you're ready, you're going to connect the left ankle, okay, to the top of that right thigh. So, and make those adjustments. If it doesn't feel right, like you noticed, I came out of it for a second and then I came back into it, because you want to get that right positioning. If something doesn't feel right, come out of it and come back into it. So now on this side, you can really see the connection point of the left tricep to the front of the left shin, okay? So that's a key point. That's really, those oppositional connection points are key to getting these hips open, okay? So sitting that weight back into those hips, again, playing with these variations from coming into more of a lotus to a forward fold, or staying in more of a deeper figure four or chair pose. Remembering to breathe though, that's the key point. If we're not breathing, then we need to ease out of the pose a little bit. Once we're ready, we come out of that pose, give yourselves again a couple shoulder rolls, self-assessments here. Notice the changes that are taking place in the body. And just relishing the opportunity to move. So you're going to come down to your mat now, and we're going to come into staff pose with our strap or band. So notice I'm making basically, again, an L shape with my body. Okay, so I'm releasing that loop out of that strap. And now I'm going to bring the strap once again to the balls of the feet, just like we've been practicing. Taking that breath, I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Notice my heels are connecting to the mat. I'm going to show you an option here, these first several breaths with a block. Okay, so we're working that midline. So that's going to help us get that nice parallel lines with our legs. Plus we're going to get that core engagement. Okay, and that oppositional work to help expand those hips out. So as you take that breath forward, you're going to lift first, right? And just notice that shift as I pulled those shoulder blades onto the back. The chest needs to come forward, not the shoulders. Okay, use the resistance again of that band to create a pulling from our toes to our chest, but then I'm also pushing out through the bottoms of my feet and oppositional work as I try to push my hips back. So when you feel ready or feel like you don't have quite enough space if you're using that block, you can go ahead and release that block, okay? And you've created that muscle memory now. So now your body's ready to receive that imaginary oppositional work or midline work. So remember, the heels need to stay connected to the mat. Tighter hamstrings, you're just going to bend those knees more. Okay, so that we make sure we're not hyperextending through that knee joint, because then we're just stretching through connective tissue and ligaments, which they don't stretch. Okay, connective tissue is what connects, obviously, muscle to skeletal structure. Okay, when you're ready to come out of this, you're going to just walk those feet back and forth, get some mobility through those toes, through those legs. And we're going to come into a pistol squat, okay, or single-legged staff pose. So you're going to bring the band to your right foot. Once again, you're going to see I'm pushing that left heel into the mat so that I get that engagement of my quadricep, okay? My left knee is hugging into my left tricep. So once again, I'm getting that same shifting forward as the chest opens. Okay, and now we're going to add a twist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the end of my strap. Okay, left arm reaches around to that strap, and now right arm to the band. Again, this is a variation. If we've got deviations in our shoulders, okay, this may not be the best pose or asana for us. So just stay in that first position, and I'll also come back to it here in a second. So I'm working my right obliques towards my left knee. And I'm expanding open with my left side bodies as I work my left shoulder blades onto the back. And eyes can start to move towards an opposing wall or ceiling. When you're ready, you're going to come back to that single-legged staff pose, working just a little bit deeper into those hips and hamstrings. Okay, as I work my breath down and then release. Walk those feet, those knees back and forth. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides. So switching to our left leg on the strap. So I'm hugging, once again, right knee, right inner thigh to my right tricep and right shoulder. Get that deep breath to lift first, and then exhale, start to slowly work those hands down that strap. Pushing oppositionally through the bottom of that left foot. So just really concentrate on the breath. Okay, remembering those hamstrings are a vital piece to our hip health. Okay, if we have tight hamstrings, we're gonna have tight hips and vice versa. So it's really, really important that we focus this facet. So you're gonna get a great view of this twist here, right? So right arm comes to the strap. Now left hand expands out on that strap or band. And then I'm pulling left obliques towards my right knee, expanding out. Okay, through my right side body as I pull my right shoulder blades onto the back, adding that twist. It's a really, really great place to just get some mobilization, okay, through those internal organs and through that spine. Come back to our single-legged staff pose. Taking a couple more nice deep breaths here. Remember to come back to that oppositional work in that left heel. Make sure we're not hyperextending through that knee joint there. And then when we're ready, slowly ease off and walk those feet, rolling through those shoulders, just getting some extension, some movement, okay? Coming out of one of those isometric asanas where we're really hugging and holding. Finding an easy pose, just give ourselves some nice big spinal circles here. Okay, we call this easy pose, and then you're just working. Think about cleaning out a cookie dough bowl. I love it. Just really getting some movement and some fluidity, and then make sure that we get both directions here. So again, using that breath. We've got a nice pranayama practice coming up here in the next several minutes, but really concentrate on the inhales and the exhales and just creating some nice fluidity with your movement and your breath. Okay, so my mat is vertical because I want to, again, show you this amazing, this is hip flossing, okay? Flossing, something that should be done every day. Well, this should be something that's done at least several times a week, this sequence. So I'm using a wall oppositionally with my extended leg. That's a great place to get some oppositional work. You can try that, but you don't have to be. Okay, so your right leg's going to come up. Once again, right ball of the foot comes to the strap. So we focus on hamstring first. So inhale, you're going to just push the bottom of your right foot towards the ceiling. And exhale, you're going to start to pull the toes towards the tops of your head. Okay, so again, keeping tension on the strap. Oppositionally, I'm working my left foot towards that imaginary wall or real wall. Phase 2 is I'm going to lift my head and I'm going to work my knee towards my chin and my chin towards my knee. So getting just a deeper release through the hamstrings, and we start to get some extension actually through the front of the hip on that extended leg. Go ahead and release, and we're going to work that right arm out. Okay, so we open up through the inner hip. Now, key point here. Notice I'm touching my left hip. I need to make sure that my left hip, my left butt cheek, stay connected to the mat. Okay, otherwise you're not going to come as deep into this pose. You may only be maybe a 45-degree angle or kind of mid-air here. I'm also adding a deeper hip extension. If mobility allows through my upper body, I'm going to take my left arm to the strap, okay, above my head, and really work inner thigh, left hip extension, chest opening, right? We've got lots of different facets here. Come back to your central hamstring stretch just for a couple breaths, toes towards the top of the head. And now we're going to come to the outside of our hip, glutes, IT band release. Slowly work. I'm at a 45-degree angle here. If we're really tight through our hips, that's where we're going to stay and start to just slowly progress down. The goal here is we want the hips now to be stacked. And you can notice I'm actually just shifted my hips so that I can stack those sit bones, that pelvis, okay, in this crossed position. So left hand's going to come to the strap now. Right arm extends out, and my eyes follow that right hand so that I can get this full twist effect that allows me to get that really nice IT band stretch, hip stretch, and also open through the chest. So I'm showing you now here an option where the knee is bent. So again, if we're really tight through the IT band or we're feeling maybe some tightness in the knee, try bending the knee for several breaths, and then we can come back out to this fully extended position. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, pulling toes towards the top of the head. Once again, come back to that central hamstring stretch. So that kind of becomes our pinnacle, okay, or our pinpoint. Go ahead and release that strap. Right arm's going to come underneath our right calf, left hand to the arch of the foot. As we lift the head, it's almost like we're trying to feed that head underneath our right leg. So again, this is a really great inner groin release, and we're getting hip extension through the left side. So bracing that core, continue to work the toes towards the head and release. Taking that left hand still at the foot. Once again, we come into windshield wiper variation as the left hand brings that right foot across the body. So you should be feeling this in the outside, again, those glutes. okay, piriformis, quadratus femoris, all of those hip muscles on the outside. And once again, we come back to inner hip, single happy baby, right hand comes to the arch of the foot. Exhale, oppositional work. I'm pulling that right knee into my mat and into my right armpit. So don't forget that oppositional work through that extended leg. That's key here. You notice I'm pushing on that left hip, making sure that I get that oppositional work so that I get the most benefit. When we're ready, we're going to come out, pull knees to chest, and then we switch sides. So we're going to get a total of 2 times on each side, you guys. First time goes a little bit slower. Right foot extends out, left foot to the band, and we find that first central hamstring stretch. Okay, upper body is connected to the mat here first, pulling toes towards the head. Once again, give yourself a slight bend. If we're super bendy through those knee joints, we've got to watch that. Second phase, lifting the head, pull knee towards the chin, chin towards the knee. Working those toes a little bit higher above the head. Focusing and concentrating our breath, deep inhales, deep exhales, and go ahead and release. Left hand stays at the strap, slowly, progressively working that left leg out. Remembering we want to have our right hip, our right glute, there we go, I'm checking it, to make sure that it's connected to the mat. So we get this full benefit. Oppositional work all the time. Keep tension on that strap. Here I go, right hand comes to the strap and I take that arm above the head so I get that greater extension through the front of the right hip, and I'm getting a deeper stretch through the inner thigh and inner hip on that left leg. Notice nothing's relaxed here, you guys. Everything's working very, very strongly. When we're ready, release that strap and come back once again to that central hamstring stretch. Just a couple of breaths here to reset. Okay, and then transition into our outer hip stretch. Notice I'm pausing at that 45-degree angle. Again, we can stay there if we're really, really tight. Otherwise, we're going to transition down. Once again, trying to stack the hips squared on top of one another, okay? And working that left leg basically to a perpendicular position. So I'm grabbing a block here. Sometimes if our hip flexors are really, really tight, okay, that's what we're feeling. We're feeling that engagement here, not the IT band. So what I'm showing you is a release where we're actually pushing the inner thigh into a block, which helps that hip flexor expand out. So you can have the leg extended, or you can bend the knee. Okay, once again, giving less leverage. So there I go with that knee bent so that there's less leverage on that left hip flexor. So play with those options. And again, every day may be slightly different. Left hand expands out. Eyes follow that left hand. So we get that nice twist. Chest opens and we get that amazing benefit through the IT band on that left side and left hip. Good. Inhale, go ahead and lift that leg up. Find once again that central hamstring stretch. Just a couple breaths here, pulling those toes. And notice what happens. Every time we do that, we should get a little bit better. Left hand's going to work its way underneath that left calf. And once again, we're coming into pretzel pose, right? Where we're trying to pull that head literally through that space that we've created with our left leg. Pushing out through the bottom of that right foot. And then once again, finding windshield wiper variation. Knee bent here. Right hand works that left foot, that left knee to the right side of our mat. Keep that chest open. So shoulder blades connected to the mat, chest square towards the ceiling. And think about pushing out through your glutes, okay, and hip bones on that left side. That'll help that expansion work even more. Left hand comes to the arch of the foot, single happy baby, pushing that left knee into that left armpit, oppositional work, right foot, imaginary wall or real wall. Also think about what's going on with your core here. There's that midline work, And then I'm literally thinking about trying to just bear down into my core to create more space. Bring these into the chest and our second round. Here we go. So it's basically about 2 breaths to a pose on this second time. Okay. Lots of practice here. So single hamstring stretch, toes towards the top of the head. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, pull the toes towards the top of the head as the shoulder blades come off the mat. So think about creating more energy and more expansion through our bodies the second time through on this hip flossing. So inner hip first as we work that hip down. There I go. Left hand to the strap. Again, we do not have to take this variation. We can just stay with both hands at the strap. We do not need to take that left hand above the head, but it feels amazing in that left hip. We get some great extension there as well if our mobility allows. But it's a great goal for 2018 to work towards if we're not there yet. Find that hamstring stretch, and now we're working oppositionally. Right foot comes across the body. Watch the shift. I'm kind of watching, and then I kind of move those hips slightly, okay, to make sure that we get that nice stacking. What's going on with my right foot? I'm pushing into that strap, you guys. Imagine that I'm pushing into that oppositional wall on the other side. Make sure we brace our core as we bring that foot back to center. Find that proprioceptor reset, right, as we pull hamstring and then come into our pretzel pose. So lifting the head, working that head into that space that we've created. Windshield wiper, option 2, knee bent, left hand at the bottom of the right foot. This is such a good pose. And I love to actually take my right hand and kind of just push my glute up and feel that expansion. Find your happy baby, single happy baby. Work through that breath. Notice I'm kind of just constantly checking in to make sure that my hips are square, my chest is square, and then go ahead and release. Grab that strap once again, and we come to our second time on our left side. So find your hamstring stretch first, toes towards the top of the head. Really concentrate on the breaths, you guys. You're going to notice a huge difference if we really concentrate on preparing the body with our exhale or our inhale and lengthening, creating space on our exhales. So now that head's lifted, right? Getting that deeper release through that hamstring and then working out into our inner hip. Left leg extends out. Right arm stays at that strap for variation, right? We create more tension or resistance on that band, that strap. Oppositional work, pushing out through our right foot. Take those deep expanding breaths. Let the rib cage open and release. And once again, notice, it's almost like you're sending that breath to those hips. Find the central hamstring release and then back to our outer hip. So right hand to the strap, working our left foot across the body. Expanding out with that left arm, eyes follow. And again, tape that breath, deep inhale and exhale. Send that exhalation to that left hip and notice the changes. There's going to be a huge, huge expansion there. Really concentrate on sending our exhales to those areas of emphasis that we're trying to concentrate on releasing. In this case, chest and heart. Excuse me, chest and hips. Good. Okay, so we're coming to pretzel pose here. Both hands to the feet, chin lifts. And then once again, windshield wiper, option 2. So we bring that left foot to the right side of our body and mat. Once again, don't hesitate to kind of feel where we're supposed to be feeling the stretch, which in this case is that left glute and hip. Find your single happy baby. Notice once again, I'm pushing down on that right hip. So I'm feeling that extension, okay? That secondary relief that I'm feeling through that right hip. release the foot, pull both knees into the chest, okay, and a couple spinal circles here on our back, releasing that low back. Good, reclining twist, both the hands come out into airplane, palms down, and just working those hips, those knees, side to side, back and forth. Whatever side the knees are on, eyes come to the opposite side. This is just really starting to help us transition into our pranayama practice. Okay, just easy twist. We're still getting some benefit, okay, through the chest, the hips, and the twisting is what starts to help us transition into our Shavasana and pranayama practice. Go ahead and bring that body up, roll that body up, and we are going to grab a block, okay, to help just open up those hips a little bit more. Okay, so give yourselves a couple shoulder rolls, okay, just lengthening through that spine, taking that head side to side. We just want to come to a comfortable position. So with that, those hips elevated, bring those hands to those hips, and we're going to start to work through just a real deep yoga, basic yoga breath practice. So you're going to take that inhale through the nose for 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, even deeper, 3, 2, and 1. As you start to feel your body relax, you can start to release those hands in a cupping shape, okay, in the lap. Just really start to feel your body release. Okay, but the breath is very, very present. This is a great thing to do first thing in the morning to create more energy, or at night to start to really bring that body into a restful state. Once again, take that inhale, feel that elevation, feel that expansion for 3, 2, 1, and exhale even deeper. 6, 5, you can do this. 4, keep exhaling. 3, 2, and 1. So it's called breath retention. We're giving ourselves a little bit of breath retention here. So take another inhale, deep inhale, and exhale once again through the nose. Feel that body release, almost like there's just this little bit of depressing, okay? Not a negative word, but just depressing or lowering, okay, or leveling of an energy. So I'm going to try to show you or allow you to hear what this should sound like. So on your next inhale, hold that breath and exhale. So you're working the breath through the back of the throat. So let's practice that. Deep inhale and exhale. 4, 3, and 1. So inhale again. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Get that throaty exhalation. Here we go. 6. Hang in there and release. So we're going to transition into the nadis. So I'm going to show this to you in technique because it's kind of going to be hard. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your ring finger, okay, place it on the ring finger of your right hand. Okay, you're going to place it on the outside of your left nostril. So it's going to kind of push off the airflow. Okay, and then you're going to connect your thumb okay, to the top of the right nostril so that you can still breathe. These are called the nadis. So inhale, you're going to take a breath through the right nostril. You're plugging off your left nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close off the right nostril with your right thumb. Let the ring finger go and let the left nostril expand and open. So again, inhale through the left nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Plug off the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Plug off the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Plug off the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Go ahead and release the hands and just take some nice deep breaths. So we're going to talk about what the nadis mean more on our technique call. But it's basically a pose that helps, or a practice, a pranayama practice that helps us create balance between our two sides of our body, right? Similar to a warrior pose or another pose of that nature. We're creating balance between our two sides. So when you're ready, go ahead and come on down to your mat. I'm going to show you a variation of Shavasana today, right? With the legs TPing, which creates expansion. You come into your normal Shavasana here. I'm just going to show this variation. It's a great place, okay, if we need some extra low back expansion. And then I'm also going to show you a block variation where we're really focusing on keeping the chest, the heart open. So you're going to place a block first right underneath the shoulder blades. And again, you can use the different levels here. And then you're also going to place a block underneath your head so that we have that once again leveling, just as if we were on our mat. The arms are going to expand out to the sides of the body, palms up, or again, option is to let those hands rest at the belly. So just letting this body be still. Letting this wave of peace, of gratitude, excitement and enthusiasm and hope in this new year. Remembering to stay present. When we focus on little things one step at a time, that's when great things come to pass. So if you haven't already, go ahead and put on a playlist here. And I'll meet you back here in a few minutes. Just giving ourselves an opportunity to relish in the stillness. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Go ahead and release those blocks from out from underneath you if you're using that variation. And then slowly go ahead and roll your body to one side. Using that arm as a pillow, just give yourselves a moment to create more circulation, to give gratitude, and to be a receiver of gratitude and beauty. Work yourselves back to a sitting position on your mat. Give yourselves a couple shoulder rolls, just again, bringing movement back to the body. Inhale, take that breath up. Find that Tadasanas. And as we exhale, we honor this amazing body, this amazing opportunity. Namaste. And Happy New Year. It's such an exciting time. Love you all. Bye-bye.